Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just a quick show of hands. This is an annoying thing that I like to do at the start of events. Who has not been here? Awesome. Okay, some new folks. So just as a quick intro to the space, my name's Gary. I'm the owner operator. This is $2 Radio headquarters. We are a book publisher, and obviously a bar and a bookstore and any other thing. So something that's really exciting to me about this is that since we kind of started the shop, since its inception, it's always meant to be a public space. A space for art, a space for literature, a space for gathering, a space for poems and poets. So hosting the Poetics Lab is a super exciting thing that we've been really stoked about for a few months. So like we're welcome and we're so excited to have you. Before we get started, I want to give a quick land acknowledgement. We would like to acknowledge that the land on which $2 Radio headquarters is located is the contemporary territory of the Shawnee, Miami, and Hopewell nations. We would like to pay our respects as well as honor that culture, heritage, and resiliency of these and other indigenous nations with strong ancestral ties to these lands, as well as individuals from indigenous backgrounds in our own community who continue to call Central Ohio home. So I'm going to welcome up Don Witten, who is the co-executive director of the Poetics Lab. Give it up. And you can.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
The Poetics Lab is love. We are kind. We are also family, so we like to bicker like family members. Never know. But my name is Don Witten. I am the co-executive director of the Poetics Lab.
My name is Mitchel. I am the other co-executive director of the Poetics Lab.
I'm not moving the mic, even though I'm talking first, so haha. Hold up. Ooh. We're finding out in real time how things work. But a couple things about us. We facilitate inclusive spaces for communities to engage with identity through poetry and performance of the self. And by that, it means that you are different depending on the space that you are in for a lot of reasons. And also, I just want you to have fun and like write some poems and listen to some poems and find it. That's all of that. But we're gonna disappear for a good portion of this show business. We're gonna turn into poets and not like administration. And I want to bring up our next friend who's like doing stuff and looking at me deeply. We're gonna turn it over to your MC. Oh, did I mess up the order? No, I didn't. Cool. I'm gonna bring up your MC, one and only Krista Smith.
Thank you, Don. Thank you, Mitchell. Hello, beautiful people. Hello. Well, let's just first give it up for $2 Radio for us. And you're so kind to have us here tonight. Also, give it up for the Poetics Lab. Welcome to the Midwest States of Being, Poetry Reading, a celebration of place, identity, and the radical. It's becoming more radical than ever, sadly enough, act of telling our stories and speaking our truths, right? So tonight's lineup brings dynamic poets from Alpena and Detroit, Michigan. Give it up for Detroit and Alpena, Michigan. Tonight we can let go of any sporting rivalries and celebrate all the poets together in the room, right? And poets right here in Columbus, Ohio. Each offering work rooted in lived experience and creative urgency. So we are beyond thrilled to have you here this evening. You truly are a beautiful crowd. I know you will give everybody lots of love. And this event would not be possible without the generous support of the Arts Midwest Gig Fund. So huge thank you to Arts Midwest Gig Fund, and thank them for supporting events like this and supporting artists who are here today. And if you are a poet and are interested in doing such things, this is a fund you should know about in terms of perhaps touring to your own place, right? So thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm looking directly in the camera for the recording. We also had additional contributions from the Michigan and Ohio State Arts Council. So thank you to all the funders. Special thanks to said the $2 radio, the Poetics Lab, also booked Suey and Ham Tramick for partnership and outreach. And I also want to give a special thanks to our ASL interpreters tonight with stage hands for providing interpretation to ensure that this reading is accessible to deaf and hard of hearing audiences members. This is being recorded as well so that this can live in, forever. So feel free also to look this way at times. Readers, audience members, say hi to those who might be looking at us in the future. Hey, it's 2025. Here we are. We're live streaming in Alpena right now in Alpena. Poetry, and you really are in this is good poetry. So this is going to be a little bit different tonight. A lot of times poetry readings, between each act, somebody like me gets up, blah, 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 and then tells you something, and then they sit down. And we're not going to do that tonight. This is the one and only time you will have to deal with an obnoxious MC. It's this moment right now. Afterwards, what's going to happen is Jessie, Galloway, somebody I adore, an incredible poet herself, and an incredible curator, received poems from all the poets that are going to read tonight. And then she went through them and she did something she likes to call cleaving and put the pieces together so that when you hear them, you're going to hear like different themes. Some will be discordant, some will be like very resonant with each other. But I think that as the poets read tonight, you will see these. Hello and welcome to $2 Radio. So there'll be lots of different things for you to tease out. But before we start hearing the poems, I do want to share with you who the poets are. And also, maybe raise your hand or give a wave or something so that when I'm saying it, they also recognize you and know who you are, so that when they read your bio later, they can come back to who you are. And I'm looking straight at Dom because Dom's the first. Dom is a Black poet born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, who serves, as you already know, as the co-director and program facilitator of the Poetics Lab. She holds an MFA in creative writing from UNC Greensboro. Dom's poems appear or are forthcoming in Obsidian, Literature and Arts, Radar Poetry, Verse Daily, Greensboro Review, Michigan Quarterly Review, Pork Belly Press, and right, no. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just I love Pork Belly profoundly. I imagine I would like the press too. Eugene and others. She is the winner of the 2022 Ammon Liner Poetry Award and the 2022 Academy of American Poet Prize at UNCG.
Yes, she is.
Dawn is awesome here from Michigan, so I know you're gonna give her extra love, right? Okay. Also, another reader, I'm looking where, right here. Hello, we have the absolutely gorgeous and sunny Sayuri, Matsuura Ayers, a Chinese, Japanese, American poet and nonfiction writer, the author of 3 poetry chapbooks and 1 nonfiction chapbook. Ayers has had work featured on the Poetry Foundation website and tri-quarterly parentheses. She earned her MFA in creative nonfiction at Randolph College as a Blackburn Fellow. Her creative work has been supported by YADA, the Virginia Center for the Creative Arts, the Ohio Arts Council, and the Greater Columbus Arts Council. She creates and mothers right here in Columbus, Ohio, so we have some local wonder here. I also just want to say, you want to invite Sayuri to your white elephant gift exchange. Yes. And say this her gifts will be the most coveted things of the day. So that's just, I'll put it out there. Madeline October. Madeline is right here. Another guest from Michigan today. Madeline October's life is nourished by artistic community. And how about that? And how many other people in here right now is your life nourished by artistic community? How we take care of each other and love ourselves up. She makes art to honor those that have nurtured her voice, championing a world in which all people believe in their creativity and celebrate their peers. I think you're in good company tonight. She is a writer, composer, bassoonist, and all of our. Okay. Okay, she was awarded a finalist position in the Witten Poetry Video Contest, and in recent years, her work has explored queer identity, transsexual liberation, and deepened relationships between humans and the earth. She thrives with her queer siblings and cats in Detroit, Michigan, as a musician, composer, and spoken word artist. The performance space is her primary venue for community building. In an average month, you can find her hosting open mics, performing at interdisciplinary arts festivals, contributing to singing circles, and amazing. Think right now about what song we might all sing together before we leave tonight. Just think about it. We'll throw some ideas out. We gotta make it happen. And employing audience participation in the concert hall. So please give a warm welcome all the way from Michigan, Madeline October. Oh my gosh. And in the most incredible corduroy jumpsuit you will ever lay eyes on, I also want to introduce Misha Ponnuraju, a Malaysian-American writer who founded the Dirty Cowboys Cafe, an interdisciplinary writing workshop for writers of marginalized genders. During this workshop, Misha and her community of emerging memorists and poets read and write their way towards a deeper understanding of desire, compassion, and rage. Misha also is one of the folks behind Fog Lifter Journal for many years, repping it hard there. Oh, and I have to tell you, Misha is the most incredible Weird Al Yankovic you will ever see in your life. I got to see her this way on October 31st, with an accordion and everything. We were at a party called the Saphho Joy Party, but I'm here to tell you it was quite Sapphic joyless in my opinion. But Misha brought that place to life, or at least my heart, when she showed up as Weird Al Yankovic. I just have to give me love for that. Always sorry, yes. Mitchel, right here. Queer artist in Northeast Michigan, who specializes in multimedia, poetry, and protest art. Uses his art to engage his hometown community in difficult conversations about identity, inclusivity, and bias. Isn't it weird we live in a world where those are difficult conversations? And here we are. And here's Mitchel doing the hard work of it. Mitchel has exhibited several pieces in multiple shows at Art in the Locked Gallery. His main collection, Bound, tells the story of queer resistance, resilience, and existence, consisting of 3 exhibition pieces: Blueberry Jam, Don't Say Gay, and Expressions. All 3 pieces combine Mitchel's poetry and writing with visual representation of the writing. His background in linguistics and queer storytelling have allowed him to present at conferences on the intersection of queer poetry, gestural studies, and the theory of world building. Mitchel, all the way from Michigan, welcome. We cannot wait to hear you read tonight. And finally, one of my favorite people to eat tacos with in Los Angeles, may I introduce Saphho Stanley, Trans-Appalachian poet, editor, and educator. Saphho grew up in Southwest Virginia, where they received their BA in English from East Tennessee State University. Currently, they are candidate at the Ohio State University's Creative Writing MFA, studying poetry. Here, they serve as poetry and production editor at the Journal. Hell yeah! They write in the name of the trans experience and the ways that experience intersects with capitalism. Their work explores T for T communities, sex work, and life in Appalachia. She also writes about the dance floor, how clubs and underground music construct the self. You can find her work forthcoming or in Waxwing and New Delta Review, as well as others. She has been anthologized in Texas Review Press's Southern Poetry Anthology And if Jessie and I are lucky, someday she will be a guest DJ. And the queer dance club that we have turned our garage into. It was actually sad. Jessie got a date wrong and like told several people that Saphho would be over to DJ in our garage. And we all showed up and we were ready to dance. And we did still dance. But alas, it wasn't the day Saphho had set to arrive. Saphho wasn't even in Columbus when we gathered here, but it will happen. It will happen. So this is your readers tonight. I will get out of the way. You are about to be imbibed with all kinds of luscious, beautiful, incredible, heartbreaking, sexy, wonderful poetry. Please be kind to our readers. Let's have one more round of celebration. Give it up right now.
Oh, that's tall, hold up. We let the tall person do the microphone stand. And that, bad idea. I'm gonna say one more thing and then I'm gonna turn into a poet. I forgot to announce this in your chairs. You have received a sheet with all of the bios of all of our readers. Feel free to take that, write on it, make it a paper airplane, do whatever you want. But there's also a half sheet that has an anonymous survey. If you want to fill it out, cool, it would appease the grant gods. Also though, if you want to buy any Poetics Lab merch, which is right behind me at this lovely table, you turn in your anonymous survey, we'll get you 10% off one of our items. So that is all that. Now I'm a poet, disregard the administration. Poets dress code. Wear your blackest black, like black pants with like a studded black belt and black dress if you want to be priestly. Ensure it has like black pockets with little black accents, like speckled black, flowy black, cozy black, scratchy black, starched black, bedazzled black, black tie, obviously. Black brooches, casket black, orchestra black, revolution black, something slutty with something on top. Black, thrift store black, only available online and like low-key my name and identity theft black, like naturally dyed black, distressed black, borrowed in 2003 black, definitely scanned at self-checkout black. Black leather strap black, from the sniff test pile black. We listen and we don't judge. Monochromatic static black. Throw every flower on your bed and still wear black. You can wear anything. Just make it there. Yeah. Get out the room, get off the page, and live.
Yeah!
Y'all can hear me? No, students. Maybe. Yeah, we did it. We got there. Off script. I've lived a life on stages, lights poised beneath my fingers like rising suns. Applause erupts with the descent of my voice, how it cracks like thunder, and oh, how it has made me feel like a god trapped in the universe of another's. I'd grown intimate with being cast into roles I did not write. Method acting a character whose name I mistook for my own performativity, practiced into a perfect, or rather, permanent. But then I met a man, he who lived his life on stages. He told his tale, how he spent decades dazzling himself, spinning out on a series of elaborate acts until one day he stopped the show, slipped out from beneath the stage lights, to let his eyes adjust to the image of an old self, only visible in plain light. In that moment, he spread open the curtains, and I saw my next 4 decades unfurling before me. The voices I for too long claimed as my own, scrawling my path like a script. I'm still learning to let those lines fade from my memory, to instead embrace the freedom he pointed to but could never touch, what was only mine to hold, a blank page, breathing, toward my life. Unscripted.
Hello, everyone. And hi there. This is titled Spring Song. Now I will do nothing but listen to accrue what I hear into this song. Walt Whitman. I was born from the widening buds of wild cherry. I was born from flood surge of Wakayama's rivers. I rose from the swelling flesh of daikons. I surged from flesh hot and corpulent. From the thatched house I spilled like April sunlight, like the mosquitoes young swarming in still water. I emerged as a blade honed on light slanting through poplar's buds. Oh body, how beautiful is your golden skin, how beautiful your opening eyes, the scarlet gape of your yawping mouth. Your father's mother swaddles you in daikon leaves. Tracing your jaundiced cheek, she channels into you the memory of kaki trees tended by your great-grandmothers. They seize the grass sprouting long and wild, posed to choke out rooting saplings. Wrenching, rough hands made room for young fruit. Wrenching, they summon emerging sweetness. Oh, beloveds, I press my cheek into furrowed rows. Closing my eyes, I listen to grubs gnawing tendrils. Who desires to know what earth knows? Who reaches into it to inquire? I listen to songs rising from a roiling core. I listen for voices burbling up from magma. As all untamed things, I am most alive, seething with blood and milk pouring from mother into mother. Like a dark wave, the earth arcs to meet my body. Like a boat, I navigate its channel. Oh, grandmother, open my ear with a stalk of blooming rice. Rouse my mouth with a blistering coal. Unfurl my tongue like an unsealed scroll. Weave into me the sinew of my asylum. Weave into me this new forest. O soul, do not fail to witness. Do not fail to remember. O body, you are tender and lovely, unveiled by the sun's caressing. Like a warbler at dawn, awaken, become the humbled form coursing with secret fire.
This is called Another Poem, Another Mishap. Also in the poem, I say someone, but by someone I mean Saphho. Someone asked me what I write about, and I said God and mom without thinking. One syllable summations of my entirety. I dream of living forever, despite fear, despite the rush towards joy, desert and moonshine, animal crossing, skies of fallen blossoms, leaves. I write towards joy like I'm coming up for breath. And I leave in spite of myself. I can never understand a battle without the cry, the war without the words. I'm asking nicely. I await the answer like a vertical lurch, the flight of a heavy body climbing up a rope. I hear my father's voice. I see the yellows of the morning light of a California December, but I cannot fathom paying taxes there. My flight towards a hometown that has grown hotter and more expensive, wildfire kissed and uninsurable. I will return in sonnets and encounter a self that loved people who hurt me. On flights, I encounter a Misha who left her notebook on a bench in San Francisco, who wept on a ferry when her bag was empty, whose heart is a landscape too big to cross, who tries, who writes.
Mama T and Father. Mama T loves pieces of every father who is and is not mine. Knows a child should be loved despite who brought a father. Can't magic for shit. Mama T and father are black-kneed and acne snot-nosed bastards flinging their bodies through woodchip piles and jolly ranchers. Can't stay for fractal magic. So avoidance raises someone to be proud of. Mama T and father catch fireflies in a glass jar, shake it up, confuse, asylum for the body. Mama T and father could be decorative kiss lattice for a crown with dining barrettes and do-rags gripping a heart to neckties. Could be fold-out telephone booth door, ajar, falsetto apology, curl wire connection with seasonal table mats. Could be dusty sequin parrots begging to sustain, and I wouldn't know the difference between existence and chronic conditions. Every palette of terror and deliverance has been the fatty meat of their faces, collaged in a mind. This name could be an alias for welcome home, and I wouldn't know how to phrase the salutation. Maybe the trilogy reconciles, not extends. Mercy has never wanted to be a cappella, and yet it is and has been and will be someone's narrative to finish, clicking tongue and gaped open for extra range. Mama T and father couldn't give what they didn't have. Be what I know we needed. Are not as evil or benign as a child wonders, yes. I'm predisposed to searching, and yes, the brain can remember wrong and who can fault a kid who ain't no better.
Tall one got me attention. I am from Penning, from moleskins and real Irish butter. I am from the lakeshore blocked by Colonel Sanders, damp air heavy on the walls. I am from the dirt under nails, the apple trees we planted. I am from love and denial, from Klanowski and Dome. I'm from roughhousing kids at heart and eating every meal like it's my last. I'm from don't stress his judgment and the face kept in a jar by the door. I'm from Alpina and the Mayflower, meat and potatoes, from the violence of kitchen utensils and an angry Polish woman full of love and voice and contradictions. Be a man. I am a 20-something-year-old gay man, and I couldn't tell you what it means to be a man. When I was younger, I was told to act and stand a certain way, so I hid behind straight faces and straight-laced ideations. But I couldn't tell you what it means to be a man when my teachers and coaches bombarded me with their straight faces and straight-laced ideations. My identity was buried under self-hate narrations. My teachers and coaches bombarded me with not so simple solutions. Be a man. So my identity became a self-hate narration. I am a 20-something-year-old gay man.
Oh, it's back to afternoon. Really not. I am an apple brown with sexy beans and rose feelings and pink sundresses who pick me up in supermarkets like by boys with bus. Love formed and bitten indiscreetly under fluorescent lights. Friends kissing friends because we're prepared to pass their oil and estrogen with secretly in bathtubs with utensils from the store. In another country, women concoct honey in bathtubs, and I think for jar shit because when I do not pass Wednesday mornings, I look like a man. I look like a woman when the bees can keep pleasant drink.
Um, You might have heard this one before. This is Dear White Jesus, after Dana Smith and Mary Oliver. And I dedicate this especially to Palestine, where Jesus's homeland is being bombed constantly by the U.S. and Israel. So yeah. So dear White Jesus, dear White Jesus, I have complained to your manager and have set your house on fire. Perhaps you can dip your forehead in its ash and seek forgiveness at the feet of the forgotten. Perhaps original sin was kicking your children out of your garden. Do you remember that when we departed, we packed up all of the street colors with us? Dear White Jesus, why are so many of your straight couples so terrible? Zombie eyes, touchless, waiting, the shouts from downstairs, the warning in our mother's eyes, and the still salvation you have envisioned. And this is the still salvation you have put on hazy infomercials of beige cookie cutter houses and crisp green lawns. Is this what you envisioned? Dear White Jesus, would you recognize my dance if I flipped tables and rioted in your temples? Would you recognize my song if I cursed billionaires and hexed them with needles in their eyes and camel humps in their backs? Why did you pillage the villages of my grandmother in order to erect a cross? Don't you know you could have had your stained glass without our blood? Dear White Jesus, you have made a liar out of this daughter, given her a forsaking mother. You have gifted her an abandoned child at home, disappeared the dinnertime laughter of Christmas mornings. My God, I have sung Eli, Eli, Lama Shabbatani all my life, the chorus in my chest, forever a swan song, ever since I watched the sunset dry a desert pink on my best friend's lips. Please don't make a sin out of my heart, out of my body, the soft wild animal who walks on her knees 100 miles with the desert repenting. Don't make me a liar or a thief or a heretic. Make me the daughter of a better God. Make me the daughter of the Father who runs to the door and makes a feast of my return. Make a feast out of our loving, its varied bodies, a multicolored splendor. My God, don't make me a haunted home. Beseech a sanctuary unto my chest. Bestow a new salvation unto your orphaned. Let us not be abandoned. Let this peculiar tune become our song of songs. Let us return to the shade of your garden. Let us create an ark with our aching, our dance in the dwelling of your most holy place. Let me create an idol in my own image and let it become your own tune.
Mountain woman combs her child's hair. Submit to this splintered comb, to my breath laced with rot, my fingers gnarled as felled cedar. Do not cry out as I tear through chunks of pine sap, uprooting matted strands. What I take from you, I give back 100-fold. Into your weeping scalp, I smear mugwort and nettle. With their strength, you will claw up great mountains' honed peaks to the orchard that sprung from my body, that I fed with sweat and piss. Oh, child, gird up your loins. Don't fuck this up. Remember how I bore you on my back, swaddled you in kudzu, nursed you with sow blood, your heartbeat the pound of cloven hooves, your breaths sharpening into snarls. O woman, rise to shake gnarled branches, seizing your birthright I planted in earth's gut. Gorge on golden flesh and slurp down nectar, bright as arterial spray. Return to me so luminous you will slay the sun.
An open letter to Father Time. Oh, Daddy, you are so generous, pounding your constant pulse inside me, blessing me with praise, your gaze like grains of sand slipping down my hourglass figure. You never keep a girl waiting. You gift a when within I wince, be, your grasp firm around my wrists as you tie my hands to yours on the clock, send me spinning by 6 a.m. You tear me over, then drag me back toward midnight. We come together again. 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 You are so giving. And I know I've been taking that gift for granted, treating your unending touch as an object to be spent. Please. It's just my breath, quickening it to a panic as I count the years I've wasted trying to run from the truth of your undying devotion, pinned beneath the power you hold to one day ruin me. That hunger in your eyes can hypnotize till I almost forget that contract I was born with. Daddy heals all wounds. So please, teach me that lesson. Make me yours again, and I'll promise to be your good girl, to cherish every second, to open wide for all the gifts of this moment, the pleasure, the pain, the promise of my final sweet release, trembling beneath your lips. Even when I lose myself within you, I trust you will always lead me back. Bless.
History of Macho Man, Part 1. Macho Man was born during a time where being a man was everything and chivalry wasn't dead. Too young to know anything about the world's sun, was born in a time when Macho Man didn't throw fists. Instead, Macho Man held onto time as if it was the sun he always wanted.
Sorry. Mountain woman seduces the river god. I am not doing this because I love you. I'm doing you because I'm bored. Your boasting drones over pebbles, the myth of you owning me, circling like a leaf in a stagnant pool. What they say about me is true. The tree frogs chirping that I can't get enough, rubbing my clit over mountain ridges, grinding them smooth and fangless. I once loved another river who plunged me under until I glued. But when silt settled, I returned to shore a new creature, hunt flaring with kutsu. Now, as I coax out your current, your blue flesh oozes between my jaws. Oh, river, your swirling ringlets of ginkgo bore me. The sopping plum blossoms you give me make me yawn. I am no God's trophy, no stone tumbled into swooning sand. I possess within myself a greater treasure. I clog your lying mouth with wildness of honeysuckle. Oh, river, pleasure me with the flicker of your tongue, then slither back into your pebbled bed and leave the fucking to me.
I'm from here in Ohio, in Wellness, but on good nights, I teach love to women. I would like to be eating burgers, any other ones built across flasks of guns. To drink spear, my thighs are exposed. Never learned how to not make a mess of my feet. Tendrils of dots spread across my shirt, and my soft thighs are soaked in red sauce. Use my index to spool the mess off of me and into her mouth. The burger glistens, American cheese wraps the meat perfectly, the sauce is an excess. I'll admit, really good food makes me hungry. My hands stroke mouth with coffee powder. Her mouth cups my mouth. I love the taste of her good breath. Each kiss feels like slips of earth trickling out. I feel closer to the world. The beauty of my home, center street lights. It is something watery yellow leaves. From my bed, I watch detached appendages of the again. I am the wilderness. Here in Ohio, her golden blue tip glistens with it. I have a secret. I've stolen my rigorous and I hope she'll forgive me for feeding her sauce made by Republicans. There's just something about sending grandmas, my touchers. To make up for it, I'll let her touch my breasts. They hear it. This too somehow came from me.
Okay, so when I was in a writing rut once, I decided to get out of it by going crazy with the footnotes. And then I never thought about what it meant for me to like perform. So what I've innovated-ish is when I like raise my hand like this, that is the footnote like into. So this is a letter to or Waigong or my mother's father. 1. I want to describe for you the echoing yawn of an open cave, how the cliff is cut open by time and water. Do not mistake this as the cruelty of plunging into an open wound. Until it is wide enough for me to enter its jaws and behold the forest. Midwest, not Malaysia, not searing tropical wind, not wild orchid roping up the velvet from their leaves. I want to describe for you the stone I want to become, the sloped boulder, dressed by moss, bright and slimy, the cascade of fern, the thin baby hemlock tree. I want to describe to you the incredulity of life sprouting from silence, this green riot, this verdant anomaly. Did you ever imagine having a granddaughter? How do you say? 2. In the heavy moments before we would relent to our snoring and nightmares, your daughter would prompt my singing. Rock of ages beneath a painting of Christ. I want to know what colors fill the bodies of the gods you worship, and you will never be able to tell me. Colors dimmed over time by the daily beatings of morning light. Our voices, bare and untrained and in melody, would become one. This dark place of our garish love glimmers with the murky sheen of broken love. 3. How did you learn to sing? 4. Did you know that your daughter still misses you? Your haunting feels like a cool, hard rock beneath my hands. The boulders and Josh tree I'll climb, the micro sharp pain pricking my fingertips. I fear losing the melody of your laughter in my writing. I fear that I color you a villain, singular and complete in your violence. I fear that in softening you, I dishonor the woman you be bloody, the homes you have set ablaze with your smoke. 6. I wish I could know how you created a songbird of your body. Studies show that opera singers have descended from early species of angels. The bright cerulean blue in your eyelids, electrified irises as you moved into the spotlight. The fact that you're an opera singer makes me insane with delight. Brightened above the dark cave of a mouth caught in song of peony pavilions in red chambers. I wish I could lift my voice like yours, hit the high notes without breaking. Did you ever teach my mother to sing? Would you have taught me? Thank you.
How can women battle the stone god? I clutched my hatchet, barrel up the mountain towards whirl of wood, winter wood, bristle of ice and snow. Up the mountain I raced, calves blazing, saliva thick as pine sap, heels slashed slick by shale shards. Smoldering blades plunge into my side with each gasp. Oh, child, you hang limp, bound with brambles to a cedar's trunk. Moonstones froth in your mouth as flint-hewn fingers slide around your blue throat. A frigid maw opens to swallow you, and I leap from a boulder into light of the glinting sickle moon. With my black blade, I cleave the face of God. Sludge spews from granite lips as he tumbles, grubs ride from his split gut. As he slides into muck, I cut you down. From the cedar, its bark gleaming like cunt blood, like gouged eyes. How still you lie in my arms, your shirt drenched in vomit, eyes glazed black with silt. Now I gust into your nostrils a whirlwind. With my tongue's flame, I command you, rise, open, come. I clutch you as you stir, face slick as kerosene. I claw your slack cheeks until they blaze crimson. Child, how dare you try to give back the breath I gave you? How dare you hurl away your life, the ingot I dredged up from the river's ruin, the gold I seized from sludge with my own teeth. Oh, child, 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 I bear you up, strapping you to my back with sinew stripped from my loins. My sweat plummets, hissing onto frigid clay, falls like blood, a scarlet torrent seethes between my bramble-torn lids. Oh, child, open your eyes. See how the mountain crumbles. See how I always take back what is mine.
So I'm writing a series of poems I call Wanda poems. We're in Ohio, so y'all have like the DMV here. In Michigan, we have the Secretary of State. It's extremely inefficient. It's just as bad, in my opinion. That's not in the poem, but you should know that Wanda also exists at the DMV. Like somebody else needed 8,000 documents before you got there, so now the line is forever. But also, I believe everybody has an FBI agent, like not in like a weird kind of like way, but just, you know, you're not supposed to be looking that up, and Wanda knows. There are 2 Wanda poems in this set. Here's the first. Woo. Case notes for Wanda. Before we continue, you should know I'm a 95-year-old man with a hankering for tapioca pudding. I buy emergency ginger root. My entire personality is quality pants, pockets, and mason jars. I live under an infinitely expanding rock. New music just don't hit like the oldies. These needs ain't fresh out the box no more. I joined an online group for extract making, and yes, I know it's very Caucasian. You can laugh. Yes, I'm impartial to bird watching, but that's more delusional than hobby. At my non-GMO, anti-capitalist homestead, I'm a pantry packer. Lead with slaughter, but those better equipped at detachment. My friends and ex-lovers stay here rent-free. Check out our ethically sourced honeybees. We're building a modern framework to reckon with historically oppressive systems through mindful communication strategies rooted in community care practices. Translation. You can bring your wounds and aren't required to explain your trauma. No one blames your methods for healing. I don't open my DNA test kit because what if it says I'm a white woman? Would I be required to update my census data? Tracing my father won't cure his absence. I sleep with emotionally unavailable men because I want to. Promiscuity is not my sexual liberation, it's my entertainment. The quiet part out loud, I'm attracted to disasters, broke men with broken dreams and no car. Sidebar, I dated a man with no pants. They make songs about girls like me. Addiction has burned out my gut so long, my intuition has anxiety. If you know my father, don't tell him about this poem. Tell him about estate sales, brash displays of outlet functionality. Tell him about a boy's attempt at lasagna. Some clocks are just broken. Don't bring a memory to a knife fight. Text stop to opt out.
Okay, this is Hunt 2 after morning lesson. After the child with the funerary package steals an orange beneath the starlight, I retire to the werewolves at the foot of my bed. Feed them. Their teeth are shaped by my dreaming. I magnify the circuitous dance, carnal breath, a shameful rhythm sharpened into seams. I strain rice in the sink and mythologize even this. In the forest of my remembering, I turn the stones over with my tongue held against the moon, review promises into the baptized mirror. The child waits by the gravestone, orange peel and incense between her teeth. She does not feed, she does not beg.
Back to vegetable. Like any recipe worth its weight in gold, it comes with a good story and material inconsequential off topic. The compound needed a clean space. The bathtub is the easiest place to mix in. Additional medication should be considered. Dancing is necessary for me. And yeah, I like huge pills for sure. This seems clean, but I've never feel better. These treats give me more rest. I feel like walking downstairs, my feet follow the deep house floor and floor, and cliche, my eyes are up here. I'm an artist in my body. My hips to the groove, my hands to the words, and I tempo on time like a cuckoo bird jumping with my clock. Buy a good scale, for extra dial powder, castor oil, vials, stoppers, caps, syringes. Make sure you have a pressure cooker. Once you've gathered materials, you can begin the steps. Timing is important. Read your favorite anonymous cereals cookbook. When it's ready, here's what I do. Once a week, I lay out my inject dreams. Before each shot, I make sure to pray over the snow. I have manners. The pushing of the needle forward always scares me past my fat, maybe 20 bucks. For good things, one must do. Sometimes I convince myself it feels good. It's why I love to dance. Lights to my friend's eye are fucked up, are like shadow beads. Graspingly speaker air like a wall. The DJ is diligent in keeping balance. If you're lazy, you can buy a extra dial from chefs across the world. These waggle to indicate the source of food. My body moves in front of me before I know it. I'm gone. Consciously, the was left. Spontaneity is now key. A transition from step to step and collect a photograph this notes. I have joints, I intend to use them. And then my elbows and knees, from my shoulders, control it into a new shape. How can I really describe the changing body? Projected.
Aftermath. I've been shower crying more often. Not of love, worse, a work email. My dentist says if this tooth cracks, I won't be sensitive anymore. Just not. I've worked so hard to be sensitive. More breathing, fewer arguments. Like most people with a dying tooth and a dying planet, I've been watching K-dramas. An irritable blob of caffeine withdrawal. A boy names me strong and unlovable in the same breath. The cop follows us 2 miles. Distance and near death will shape the hierarchy of our silence. I should have stayed home.
feel like I never say this before I do this one, but this is inspired by a poem by the poet Linus Walzer. He wrote a poem called Ode to My Vagina. Oh no, it's a letter to my vagina. Anyway, this one's called Ode to What's Between My Legs. You never bleed within, never a life bearer, linked in enigmatic orbit with your sisters knowing. There's nothing cosmic about you. I can't even gift you a name that doesn't sound like a joke. Jeered in a high school locker room, a slur screamed across a pop-up porn ad, some tool of violence ripped from my body, then pointed back at my throat. They asked me when I plan to cut you out of my life. Hope for some slab of slaughter torn inside out, allegedly rendered incapable of the violence they expect from girls like us. So you mostly stay here. Suffocate in a straitjacket bulging beneath a baby pink skirt. My incarcerated family member I try never to visit, but I'm sick of pretending you don't exist, of listing all that you're not. What you are is the softest thing about me. For me and my loves, a blessing, the unforbidden truth tingling as we crawl into each other's bodies. You know I could never hate. I've no choice but to cherish each morning when we waltz together in the mirror, faint in unison to the same song sung in the reflection of goddess. Finally, the girl of my dreams, never in spite, but because of you. Because of who you are, I'm still afraid to open, to speak the truth of us. My mind writhing in all the ways it makes us less than woman, stuck in the cycle that will never gift me the language to love you. I mean words which erase you from the punchline, instead rewritten as two open palms waiting to catch me when I fall for the truth of my own beauty. Words which demand you are never the weapon, only the medicine which mends our memories of misplaced girlhood. We don't have to tell you what's missing. Silence. When I search for this language, it's louder than any words I could write. I return to this poem and still struggle to wrap my tongue around this foreign way of loving. You deserve so much. A happy ending, a future where I say, I love you, and actually mean it. I promise to keep trying until we get this right.
Sorry, I have ADHD. And so there are random noises behind me. Autofiction. I pressed my face against the jumper gate on I-75, confessed my rage to semi-trucks and scrap metal dreams passing by. Are all places haunted? Don't honk, my mom is dead, and don't honk, my dad is dead. Bumper stickers stop to check on me. Imagine the premeditated pummel. Kids 6 and 8 clad in cartoons taking turns at live whack-a-mole photos like they stole something. The coat closet slayers, the umbrella undertakers, defenders of what little kids can call their own, are weapons forged for justice to crimes too numerous. Not sad, just bored.
Is my last one of the night, I think. And depending on what you think of form, it could be a good or bad thing. This is for Christina. I say in my baby pink Sunday best, God created me begging. I drowned in the grass in the afternoon. Love has brought me on my knees to you, to a haunted house around the corner a lifetime away. Keep your mouth above the horizon, breathe into its collapse. Silent as it's kept, the question is shaped like a collapse. Original sins and science and we love story, we gave it our best. This child sees the shadow, but she does not run away. Her mother watches the sky curdle green, begging for the storm to leave them both unchanged, for you to arrive clean and empty of memory in the afternoon. Strawberry stained mornings leak into the stale afternoon, gnarled fingers in the dead soil, and earth flailed and collapsed. A body rises to the surface of a lake, and there you wait, shadow hunted, sunlight wasted, for the best of our days to evaporate into a burnt sun memory, begging for a heaven built by my father's used toothpicks to be washed away. From the shore I return, from the lake, an eclipse in my path, walk away from the horizon that fools me into believing in forever afternoons. You bring me there anyway, penumbra kisses and miracle skies, begging for more time on a bed of fallen petals. Our best looks like this, those stories on a mantle of dead flowers, and you smiling quiet in your sleep. We sing hymnals to keep the dawn away, a new day, a new war, a new elegy in a new body, a new afternoon for our naked waters to reach, mother and child, lost in an old begging and beginnings to collapse now, here, in the song that we call our best effort for forever.
I was looking for Chicago. And what if I told you the part of you last night was better than any you've been to? The yellow city lights float into the sky, and I swear to God, the yellow clouds reflect back into the street lamps, and the skylights led us to the tracks. The train led us to the road and forgot my house. We really did dance among the dead, and the lights in the ceiling sliding up with jelly and strawberry jam. By the end, we were all sticky. Residue of glue stuck to our skins like projected tattoos. They made music you could imagine in the halls of someone's dead industrial dream. Our bodies was pink, and I don't regret the crick in my neck. In one room, it was so blue, and in the other, the DJ played music so red, it felt like blood gushing out of our heart. The entire place was filled with artists running around, scraping cones and pastas hung from their belts like candy nowhere. They were so much cooler than we are, and we didn't even try. Did you know you can make music from the smoke of incense? Did you know art can become woven overnight when speakers or shadows like quakes could bring down those walls? Did you know tattered clothes can be made with perfect unintentional? They do it different in Chicago. Sounds like fire alarms are beautiful. It's impossible to precisely describe the genre of music from your thing, and I know what you're thinking is all I can make. Go outside, the organizers roamed the rows, looking for hints of pigs. The thought of sizzling bacon only made everyone else harder. Did they find what makes this worth it? I don't want to ever take this life for granted again. I want to love art drawn spontaneously, lines scribbled perfectly in the shape of the artist's unsteady hand. I want to worship even iridescent green streamers. They've made heaven. God, I try to move forward sometimes. As the night died, the color of the sun, and the people filed out like wakes in the sea, I realized I won't ever see them again. Isn't it beautiful? Our sweat fucked in puddles on the floor, and I'll never again accidentally bump against their bodies. Though it ended, last night I found a perpetual motion machine. The sky, the music, the people's feet screaming, please don't forget us. Really, it was space aliens. We missed it and thought how jealous we must be. I want to try to make it. All it takes maybe a room, laptop, speakers, and a new hub. Can you hear it? Your song stripped into the city that follows in the ocean and still doesn't hear.
This poem's name comes from Manang, which is the Ojibwe word for Nailahoyden, which is an Indian mixed spirit, which is where this poem is from. Manang means the good place. The good place. Hillsides yawn thick fog. Last night's dreams spilt into the harbor face. Still sound asleep. The only wake formed by ducks that snuffle her surface as loons step silent beneath. Their calls still dormant within downy striped throats, cradling the lightness of a morning not yet pierced with word. Balsam fir tickles the horizon, behind which 1,000 crimson flowers ready their bodies to bloom, to burst, to spill their fragrance across the sky. The day, as it does each day, offers me this blinding bouquet, usually unnoticed. Most mornings, I hold only my fears, well-worn and weathered like the smooth pebbles of the shore, my knuckles white with years of grasping, but today, they loosen my feet. Hold each one with grace and care, and in a fleeting instant to skip each terror toward that rosy horizon. I lose myself between the waves and the clouds, dive under like the moon, come up drenched in dewy dreams and days.
So a little bit about this, just so there's a little bit of context. The History of Macho Man is a series of poems about my father and his relationship to his mother, titled or named Small Mother in these poems in me, too young to know anything about the world son. And so there are relationships that juxtapose those two relationships between also me and my grandmother. And this is one of those. This is History of Macho Man, Part 4. Small Mother sits with too young to know anything about the world's son and says, "What you do in your bedroom is nobody's business. I haven't done anything since Mike, but no one needs to know about that." The generational gap, nor the familial ties bring hesitation into Small Mother's words. Too young to know anything about the world's son is just happy to hear her voice.
I looked about vegetable tree. Brilliant. On Wednesday mornings, we miss the land. Our honeysuckles bring us back, and our hummingbirds keep fluttering. I am an apple growing in dreams from these birds and sundresses who pluck green supermarkets, its clairvoyance blessed. Love was formed when I was lived indiscreetly in forest pots. In another country, we never thought was spices. And ships because we can't pass on. Friends kiss friends because we're addicted to estrogen for castor oil and secret batons. Each was the life we choose life.
This poem is especially this previously mentioned honeylocusts. And that's what this poem is about. If you don't know what honey locust is a tree, they're all over the Midwest. Honey locusts, hidden in plain light. You sway the summer breeze silent from my mind until one October morning, your body bursts the August sun. Oh, saffrons, caramel-coated lightning strike, autumn's party pinata, your sweetness spilt as confetti swirls beneath each passing car, glitters across the sidewalk, gilds the gutters, and tickles my toes, feet, which still stumble these streets. Trip over the cracks in my ego and grasp tight to each limb of this life, some concrete fever briefly broken by the ease with which you gift your glint to this world. Friend, I wonder why I never find you running wild in some untamed forest, always pruned in a park, the concrete planter box, you brightening our fractured landscape by our own design. Some say we chose you for your alleged toughness, your tolerance of city drought, dense alkaline soils, salt-soaked noxious breath of my exhaust pipe, but couldn't we have put you here for a reason as simple as this? For these shimmering sidewalks, street litter now wrapped like a gift. Couldn't the arborist have planted you, thinking only the future generations of overgrown girls, speechless in a tunnel of gold? No choice but to thrust her hands into these flickering embers of decay, to grab them by the fistful, lift them towards the heavens, arms wide, eyes closed, baptized in your body, dying, so we might remember why we are alive. Handful of keepsakes. I don't remember much about them, so I dig through boxes of old memories to make sure their faces are still there. Omar. A German-English dictionary sits vibrantly atop a pile of fading book covers, your hands gently holding my fingers, the polished brush tickling my nails. My Liebchen hold still, her voice delighted as the night sky messily colored my fingers. Ich liebe dich. I love you too. Grandma Rensberry. A music note hangs in the air above a framed farmhouse, your voice calling me into your lap as your embrace soothes my everlasting jitters. My hands take your attention. These are piano playing fingers. Her eyes smile as I spread my fingers wide in awe, imagining the playing of keys underneath. I love you. I love you too.
Quick question for our audience friends, because this is a debate I had with my mom. Who believes that candles expire? It's a generational difference, okay? It's important to the poem, I promise. Questions for Wanda. Will I die if I eat this can of whole kernel corn expired in 2012? Right? That's kind of old. Will I die if I eat this can of whole kernel corn expired in 2012? My mama say I won't surely die, and let my mama tell her she's always right. But if I don't die, will the stomach ache make me wish I was dead? Do dead people still dream? I don't dream much now, but if there was only perfection and only destruction spanning eternity in either direction, do you think I'd still be unhappy? Can you tell my mama she wrong? Expiration dates are not conspiracy theories perpetuated by big aluminum. I'm convinced all failed comedians become poets. Of course, I don't trust the government, and of course, there's enough food to feed everyone, and yes, I'd lap up every bit of congealed, indigestible, whole kernel corn if the apocalypse was tomorrow, but what if I died in a less sexy manner? What if I tripped over my shoelaces into a bowl of water like that one guy in 1,000 Ways to Die? Did this show give me limitless irrational fears, or was I destined for gluttonous disappearance? How do I delete my search history? How do I delete asking how to delete my search history? Is it suspicious if there's nothing in my search? Should I let my mama read this before I read it to a group of strangers? Can you tell my mama she's right about everything? I did eat her baby.
Before I read the last poem of the night, can we just thank the Poetics Lab and also this is titled Radish Women. We are earthquake, shudder. We are wounded and armored meat. We are unrootable song. Though you slash our flat flesh with blades, though worm and grub churn and gnaw, we open rocky fists and grip the earth. We seize the grave and shake it until it surrenders who slumbers, until our mothers waken and rise, until we are all unspectered flesh and bone. Though you poison our soil and burn our roots, we thrive and spread until the world smothers in splendid green. We are rivers summoned up from rock. We are current of yellow white that sucks you under. We are chorus drowning out your shouted slurs. We are not silk and lacquer dolls. We will not be shellacked geisha white. We are not your almond-eyed mistresses, not falsetto giggles behind soji screens, not your stilted 5755. We are not cranes creased by pale fingers, no one's English punchline. Who are you to call our thick, pock skin unlovely? Who are you to blanch and balk at our pharaoh musk? You who scramble to bleach us market white, to tame our tang, to shush our yowling balls. We are mountain fang, we are flare of rasping spine. We are ancestral dream, we are your nightmare stampede. Woo! If you cut us down, we will spring up 1,000-fold. When you sear us with your white hot glares, we burst forth in bloom. With our teeth bared and glinting, we are coming for you.
That is your official last photo of the evening. I want to pass it over to Krista. Oh, we can wrap it up. Everyone stand if you're a poet. You see that, I do a lot. But congrats to all of them. Second show, we did one in October at Book Suey. I want to give a shout out to Kat. Kat is in the background, great flannel and trying to disappear. Kat has been taking photos all night to make sure that this is fantastic, but also you don't see a lot of the work that Kat does to make sure that nothing goes wrong today. And so Kat has my eternal gratitude, my thanks, my love, and also a curtsy apparently. And I also want to make sure that we shout out Jessie. Jessie did so much work. People don't always know this, but this was like the first grant that the Poetics Lab ever did, and it was scary. And Jessie held her hand the whole time. We were in my car. It was due at 11:59, and we turned it in at 11:59. Live your life, you'll be great. But of course, shout out your host, Krista, because she's rocking it. Yeah. I also want to shout out our lovely board members who are hosting the Alpina live watch party. So if everybody could just like wave to them. We appreciate the Alpina community. They really made sure that that we could do this, and we host events up there all the time, and they are some of the best people in the entire world. So we want to shout out our entire board, because they're rocking that event without us, and B, they make sure everything goes smoothly all year round. And last but not least, of course, you can buy some Poetics Lab merch. You also don't have to buy us something to give us the survey. You can just hand me the survey. Again, must appease the grant gods. Shout out for our ASL interpreters today. And that's all I've got. Good night. I release you in love.
Thank you.
Before you make